Hello Harlem, hello white background.
If you ever do an interview, you should have a completely white background so that no one can steal information.
Was there a particular image that made you suddenly go, I'm good at this. This is what I can do?
1999, I took a picture of a man looking at the Millennium Wheel, who had a wheel strapped to his back. And that was my first picture that I thought was pretty good. And I'd learned how to take that picture by doing the workshop with Leonard. I had realized that you have to open yourself up to chance, but also you can't just take one picture and think you've got it. You know, if you think you've got the picture, you really 9 times out of 10 probably haven't. It's not to perfection, whatever perfection is. You press the button and put a rectangle around something, but actually, if you're really, really interested in photographs and how they're composed or how they feel or how they are, 9 times out of 10 you take more than one. And I'd learned from Leonard that he took generally about 6 pictures on each subject. And so his contact sheets, because he's using film, black and white film with a Leica, his contact sheets were perfect. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, maybe one at the end if you're lucky.
Peacock, that was less about a happy accident. You've got a good story here, right? Because you...
The advert, which was an extraordinary advert, and the advert was there for maybe 6 months, maybe a year, I don't know. They were making a Harry Winston shop on New Bond Street. So this amazing, I would walk past it every day and I'd go, wow, that's an amazing advert. Like when you see one day there'd be a blue car and you'd like, oh, maybe I can make it into a, peacock car. And I had this amazing email, this guy called Joel Meyerowitz, who's a mentor and a friend.
Yeah.
I'd never met him before, but he'd seen my work in PDN magazine. And he sent me an email saying, like, Matt, really like your work, which was like, doo, doo, doo.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm coming to London. Do you want to meet up and go and shoot? Doo, doo, doo. Back and obviously said, I'd love to. That sounds fantastic, Joel. Let's meet up at Oxford Circus and I'll take you on my walk. And on the day that I was walking with Joel Meyerowitz, taking pictures, we walked past the peacock that I'd walked past for the last 6 months, and there was a blue skip perfectly in place. And I was like, Joel,
oh, my word.
Joel, look. And he said, oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And I was like, it's mine. For about 8 or 9 years, I was really into skateboarding when I was growing up. And I think actually that's probably where my love of the streets and being outside and utilizing street furniture to skateboard on. And I think somewhere along the line, that kind of stuff rubbed off and sort of was a segue to the street photography. So these sort of individual sports, they're amazing, especially for young men growing up, because you just learn to sort of focus and concentrate and try.
Very true.
And try
yes.
and try and try. Kind of precursor to the photography, because let's face it, especially with street photography, you try and try and try again until you make it. And most of the time you don't really make it. And it always hurts when you don't make it.
The other side of it is the elation when it does work. That shot is just like, oh my God, that's fantastic.
You hope you've got that shot.
Yes.
But there's so many lovely things that sort of combine with the skateboarding and the street photography, because obviously with the skateboarding, if you make a trick and no one saw it, you made the trick and you're happy because you made the trick and you're honest with yourself. You made the trick. You're not going to lie to yourself that you made the trick. But with the street photography, you can make a trick every now and then and you can hold on to it forever. With photography in general, not just street photography, with photography, you can hold on to that trick forever.
The bluebird of happiness chatting away to the elephant.
It's actually not a bird, it's a dolphin. It's a flying dolphin.
It's a flying dolphin.
You see a dolphin and you think, is that the dolphin? And you say, I'm not sure, but I'm going to take a picture of it just in case. And then you take a picture of it and kind of look at it and you go, oh, that looks like a dolphin. Oh, and then you show it to some people and they say, and that looks like an elephant down there. And you say, well, I never saw an elephant. That's ridiculous. And then you show it to lots of people during workshops, and you say, "What do you all see? What do you all see?" And some people say a dolphin, and some people say an elephant, and you tell them it's actually a plastic bag, and they laugh. I actually learned from Leonard Freed, who was a Magnum photographer who's sadly not with us anymore, but just the way to go about it and the way to approach and the way to be. And that was it, basically. Just be good. If you are being good, whilst you're taking photographs, literally, I am being good. Am I being bad? No, I'm being good. I find that you can be almost, I don't want to say bulletproof because you can be very sort of assured in what you're doing. If you lie, if you're being bad in the moment and you respond with a lie, 9 times out of 10 you pause and people know that you're lying. Honestly, in 24 years of doing it, I've had a handful of problems.